So let's do a little walk around of the truck here. So far I've had to do a little bit of headlight rewiring, replace a whole bunch of bulbs. I really want to get a new front grille for this truck because this one's just shattered, and I'd like to get a new bumper for it with the bumper guards on it that I like. Still need to pressure wash the truck again, and I want to clean up and repaint all 4 wheels. That's why I've got the dog dish wheel covers off, but I have a set of 4 GMC ones for it that are in fairly decent condition. What else? The windshield's got a little bit of a crack in it, but it's fine. Still have to take off these grandpa boards and the camper tie down because I'm never going to put a camper in this, and I'm probably going to be keeping this truck. I did put in some tie down hooks there that I like. One of my F-150s had that, so I decided to do the same in this truck too. And I want to move the exhaust out the back. It is dual exhaust, of course, but I don't like how it comes out the side there. What else? The back bumper is a little bit twisted on it. Need to polish up the lenses on the tail lights. I finally got that one marker light working, and I need to work on this one next. Other than that, it's just been mostly bulbs and stuff. I haven't really washed it a lot. And I had to do the rear U-joint on it, and a lot under the hood with little things like belts, hoses, air filter, that kind of stuff. And replaced the water pump on it. And what else did I do? I don't know, I'm starting to forget now. The inside, show you here. This is the 1985, of course. Very base model, as I showed you in the last video when I first brought it home. Still haven't done anything with the inside. I gave it a quick wipe down and that's it. So still has lots of mold and stuff to clear off. That's all right though. It's just super basic, but I have to hook up speakers in it too because it's missing the speakers, unfortunately. Let's pop the hood here. So I did the front brakes on it as well, and I just had to replace a brake line last night on the front to do the flex hose, and I updated the description on the front brake video. But what happened is when I went to do this flex hose here for the front brakes, I realized that was probably causing the caliper to seize in the first place, and then the caliper was dragging, and the caliper that I pulled out was definitely seized, but this one was dragging a lot and causing my brakes to overheat. So now I've got that all replaced and it works fine. So this flex hose here looks really new, so looks like somebody did that one when it was an issue. But spilled a bunch of brake fluid on there, so that's why it's all wet, and I washed it off. There was some water, of course. Still have to do the valve cover gaskets as well because it's leaking pretty bad towards the back. Not so much on this side, but more on the other side there. And I'm gonna do a little bit of painting and stuff in here too and make it look halfway decent. And my gauges here, so I've got my volts have never shown proper, and that's got a new alternator in it as well. It's showing less than 13 for some reason. Oil pressure, it's just a bad switch, and I have one. I just have to get around to replacing it. And the coolant does its job, the temperature gauge there, so that's good. Fuel gauge works, 276,000 kilometers on it, so the motor's fairly up there. It chugs along, it does okay, so. So I'm bored today avoiding chores, so I figured I'd take the old GMC out for a rip, and not much to do, just put it in gear and go. No more SM465 shifting all over the place. This is kind of what I wanted, so I'm happy with it. It's a lot more smooth riding too than the last truck was. That K1500 was just bouncing all down this road. It's still bumpy, but it's just the road. I do want to get heavier duty leaf springs for the back of this truck, because one thing I noticed is that when I put a heavy load in this thing, she just squats right down, and I'd like it if it did that just a little bit less, ideally. So it's just a nice area up here. I just like coming up here for drives when I'm bored. Neighbors probably think I'm suspicious or something like that, but it's just nice. still a bit of an occasional low-speed squeal, and I've inspected the U-joints. I checked the, I believe it's called a carrier bearing on the drive shaft. I can't remember what it's called, but I inspected that, and I can't find anything wrong with it per se. And to me, it sounds like it's coming from the back, but it's just like a bit of a squeal that happens between like probably 40 and 50 kilometers an hour, and then it goes away. And I just have no idea what the heck's causing it. It has a 700 R4 automatic transmission and 305 engine, no AC. It's fairly simple. I don't know. I think my next biggest plans for this truck are just going to be doing, like, making sure that all the lights work properly. Sometimes the driver's side headlight will go out and then you have to give it a bang and then it turns back on. So I'm not exactly sure what that is, like probably loose connection in the plug. So I've got to figure that out a bit and clean up all the contacts and stuff. And once we get it, all the lights working properly, then I'm going to buy new tires for it, because we have to go to Kamloops again here probably in a month or so to pick up 2 more goats. And the goats are being bred to a buck there right now at the breeder, and once they're bred, then we're going to have some doelings coming probably next year sometime, so that'll be really interesting. It'll be our first baby goats. Never done that before. But yeah, I just figured I'd come out for a drive and show you guys the inside of the square. Still have to get this thing here glued down, and I bought new spark plugs for it too, so I have to install those someday. But at least now I can drive this thing around reliably. So it's an old truck though, there's always stuff to do, like the radiator is showing some evidence of wear and it's really gummed up, so that could probably be replaced at some point too. It definitely needs rocker panels and cab corners as well, but at least it's safe to drive around now, so. I guess the horn could be a little louder too, but oh, now that person probably thinks I'm honking it now. To park the truck overnight in the driveway because the parts store was closed and I needed a brake line, and I just bent my own out of one that was about the same length, and this thing got a ton of air in the lines, like a crazy amount of air in the lines, so I was bleeding it, and it took me like probably 20 minutes to get all the air bubbles out, but it stops nice and straight now and I've got a good solid pedal again. So that squeak again. I just don't have a clue what the heck that is. If you guys know, just let me know. It's driving me nuts and I want to fix it like ASAP. Yeah, this truck just drives along so much more smooth now. It was just really like, you had to really put your foot into it all the time, constantly, to go anywhere, because the brake was dragging around just even slightly. And it was causing me to just burn out my grass in my yard down below where the barn is, and it wasn't fun. I tried to go and get hay one day and I felt bad. I kept the guy waiting for like an hour because I got the truck stuck on flat grass because the brake was dragging, so it was just in perpetual burnout mode the whole time. It was awesome. Anyways, I appreciate you stopping by. If you're interested, we have videos on chickens, cows, goats, you name it, truck repair, car stuff, just me doing random fixes here and there on stuff. So thanks Thanks for watching.